morning, my dear friends. It's a new week, it's Monday, and our daily reflection. Have you ever been rejected? Or have you ever felt rejected? If yes, today's gospel is really for you. Let's take a look. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. This is Luke chapter 18, verses 35 to 43. As Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. And hearing a crowd going by, he inquired what was happening. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. He shouted, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. The people walking in front rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, Son of David, have pity on me. Then Jesus stopped and ordered that he be brought to him. And when he came near, Jesus asked him, What do you want me to do for you? He replied, Lord, please let me see. Jesus told him, Have sight. Your faith has saved you. He immediately received his sight and followed him, giving glory to God. When they saw this, all the people gave praise to God. The Gospel of the Lord. My dear friends, I asked again, have you ever felt rejected, or do you feel rejected by anybody? Again, if you do, this gospel that we just heard from is for you. You see, this blind man that we heard in this gospel did not see, obviously. He was blind, he couldn't see. So there is no way that this man has ever seen Jesus. All he could rely on was what he heard others say. But the thing is that when this man heard that Jesus was passing by, he believed in the things that he had heard about this man Jesus. That's all that took him to come out and ask for Jesus' help. All he heard, he had never seen Jesus with his eyes. But unfortunately, the people were pressing him down and rebuking him and stopping him from calling out to Jesus for his help. Whereas these same people are the ones who have the sight that are able to physically see what Jesus has done to others. These same people have seen those that Jesus has healed. These same people have seen the other blind that Jesus had made see. But they were rebuking this blind man, this poor man, this man who was begging for a living because he couldn't see and he couldn't really do something for himself. They still didn't want to give him the chance to get something like sight, which they already had. They rejected him. Again, have you ever felt rejected? Or do you feel rejected? If you do, your story is like that of this blind man in this gospel. Again, if you feel rejected, your story is not just like that of that blind man, but your story is also like that of Jesus. Your story is like that of Jesus. Remember when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, and when Mary and Joseph were going for the census, they couldn't find a place in the inn. Everyone rejected them. Remember when Jesus talks about a prophet not welcome in his hometown? That is because Jesus' own people rejected him. Do you know why Jesus was crucified? Because he was rejected. If he was not rejected, he would not have been killed. My dear brother, my dear sister, if you have ever felt rejected, or if you feel rejected by anyone, your story is like that of Jesus. Your story is like that of this blind man in this gospel. But there is good news for you. Jesus says that everyone can reject you, but he will not reject you. He will never reject you. Just as he looked at that blind man in this gospel and said, "Bring him to me." In his mind, Jesus was saying, you know what? Everyone is rejecting you, but I will not reject you. And he asked, what can I do for you? My dear friends, Jesus is asking you today, in your rejection, what can he do for you? Come to Jesus with your faith, like the faith of this blind man in this gospel. You know, in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, we're told that faith is believing in the things we don't see and being certain of what we hope for. This blind man had never seen Jesus. He had never seen any of the works that Jesus had performed. But he had faith. He believed in what he had never seen. And he hoped in gaining his sight. And that is what pushed him to call out to Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me, Lord, that I may see again. The Lord wants us to embrace such faith. In the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 7, St. Paul reminds us that we should walk by faith and not by sight. This blind man knew this message. He was walking by faith. He was walking by his faith in Jesus, by the faith that was based on what he had heard. He had never sinned. He had never seen Jesus do anything. He was walking by faith. If you feel rejected, have faith in Jesus, for he is welcoming you. He is telling you, come to me and tell me what you want. And your faith will set you free. Have a great day, and God bless you.